Now that we saw all the examples of what we can actually achieve using Stable Diffusion, it's time to dive deeper into the topic. And in this section, it's all about Stable Diffusion, how AI images are created in general with Stable Diffusion. We will talk about the interface Fooocus, which we use to access Stable Diffusion. And at the end of the section, you will learn how to install customers and run Fooocus so you can create awesome AI images. Stay tuned and let's have a look onto my screen. Good, what is Fooocus and how does Stable Diffusion actually work? Fooocus is a powerful free-to-use interface for creating AI images based on the open source software Stable Diffusion. So we have Stable Diffusion as an open source software in the background that is doing the major work, creating the images, and we have Fooocus as an interface we use to access that software. And sometimes I switch between the terms and I say Stable Diffusion instead of Fooocus or Fooocus instead of Stable Diffusion. But within that course, it should be all right to just keep in mind that Fooocus or Stable Diffusion is the name of our AI tool we use to generate the images. And at this point, it's absolutely unnecessary that you fully understand Stable Diffusion in all the details. I just want to give you a simple example to understand the general concept. As you can see, Stable Diffusion always starts with random noise, no matter what text or even image we provide to it as the prompt. And the prompt is basically what we want to create. And most of the time, we use just words or a sentence to get our result. But as we will learn in the course, we can also provide another image, and this is called image prompt, but more on that later. So as I said, the starting point is always random noise, and noise is basically nothing, just some shades, some colors, and this is always the starting point for any AI image we create with Stable Diffusion. And together with a prompt, in this case a portrait of an attractive masculine American man, the image generation process starts. And Stable Diffusion will gradually reduce this noise step by step to reveal an image within it. And already here in this first example iteration, we can see that we see the silhouette and some shades of the face of a man. And step by step, this process is developed, and at the end, we get our final image. And this works because Stable Diffusion, through a trained neural network, has learned to recognize patterns in increasingly noisy images. And by reversing that process, clear images are generated from these noisy images by gradually reducing the noise step by step. This sounds super complicated, and the algorithms actually are, but I tried to show you this principle in a little simple example. So on the left side, we basically see the training process of such a Stable Diffusion model. So the training works like that. There's an image, for example, our man, and you tell the software this is how a man looks like. And after that, you add some noise. As you can see here, the image gets more blurry, and you always tell the neural network this is a man. Try to see the man within that image. And then you do it even more, until we just have noise. And you always tell the AI software, the Stable Diffusion model, to still recognize the man or the image within that noisy image. And during millions of iteration with millions of different images, the software, the neural network, learns to recognize pattern within that noise. And after a time, when you reverse that process and you provide a noisy image like this together with the prompt, the neural network knows how to reverse it to reduce the noise, and together with the prompt put a new image together. And after that, we get our final image. So this is just on a very top level explained how the training of such a model works and how the actual image generation process works. But no worries, we don't need to understand this or fully understand it to be able to generate great images. Because to us humans, this sounds very, very complex, and the underlying algorithms actually are. but however, we don't need to understand it, we just use it to our own advantage. Just keep the following principle in mind. Stable Diffusion recognizes your prompt within even extremely noisy images and generates the finished image from it. This gives us incredible freedom because we don't have to show the software exactly what to do. It's enough to give an idea. And we will use this specifically later in the in-painting lesson because this gives us so much freedom to in-paint or edit our existing images. Because in the past we always had to show the computer exactly what to do, and now with Stable Diffusion we just give the computer an idea and the computer will do the heavy lifting. So this is quite cool, and you will learn in this course how to do it. And why do I use now Fooocus to access Stable Diffusion? Because there are also other platforms like DALL-E, Midjourney, CArt, Leonardo AI, and many, many more. But there are some advantages of Fooocus, what makes Fooocus for myself the perfect AI image creation tool. And the first is it's free or extremely low cost usage in combination with Google Colab. And as I already mentioned earlier, Google Colab is a cloud service of Google that is extremely cheap but very powerful, and this gives us the opportunity to create awesome AI images without investing into expensive hardware. Then it's very user friendly. I really love the interface of Fooocus and especially the advanced settings, because as a beginner you don't get overwhelmed by a lot of parameters, but you also have the possibility to use advanced settings in case you need them with increased skill and knowledge level. Then I love the excellent image quality and the photorealistic images we can create with Fooocus, and how you do that is also subject of that video course. And I really love the wide selection of checkpoint models and LoRa's, or sometimes it's also called base models and LoRa's. These are basically different underlying models we can use to create different styles of images, and how you download and install these different base models you will also learn in this video course. With that being said, let's get started with Fooocus, what we will do in the next lecture.